Hi, and welcome back to another episode of George's Corner. I'm your host, George Lee Jones, and this is George's Corner. I was driving today and I had this epiphany or thought, and what it was is how to entice money into your life. I was having a conversation with somebody. Again, that person will remain nameless, and the crux of the conversation went into a place, went to me recalling a story from a long time ago. I happened to be out with, let's just say, some gentlemen friends of mine, and we went to this establishment. Now, they called me up and coaxed me into going out to this place. Great establishment, by far one of the best places I've ever hung out living in the city that I live in. And but I just happened to be tired that day from working all week. Just wanted to get home on a Friday night, sit back, chill, do nothing. But anyway, they convinced me to go out. And they said, hey, let's go to this place that you like a lot. It's like, okay. So we get there. Now, follow me with this story because you're going to understand what I'm saying and why this how to entice money into your life became sort of an epiphany for me today as I'm driving along having this conversation. We get to the establishment. Of course, like I said, I'm tired. So all my buddies decided they're going to start walking around the restaurant slash bar, whatever you want to call it, and mingle. Myself, tired, I'm looking for a place to sit down. So I walk up to this table. It's got two or three young ladies sitting there, and I asked the question, is there someone sitting here? And first they gave me the cold shoulder, and I get the psst, or I call it the aerosol can. And I said, whoa, I didn't need any air freshener. I didn't stink up the place, did I? I simply asked, could I sit down? I'm tired. Nothing more to the conversation, not trying to hit on you ladies whatsoever. So they say, fine. I sit down, minding my own business. They engage me in conversation. Now, mind you, fam, I came out with my buddies, my friends, my boys, not looking for anything. I'm not out hunting. I'm not on the prowl. I'm not anything. I'm just out because they asked me to come out with them. And I could get them past the front of the line because there's usually a line at this place and I know people there. So we got to get in pretty quickly. Anyway, back to the story. I'm sitting there with the young ladies. They strike up a conversation with me. It's back and forth. Next thing I know, two or three other young ladies come. They sit at the table. Now I'm holding court. Just me, one guy, and about 6 or 7 women. Just having a nice casual conversation. What about? I couldn't even tell you. So anyway, one by one, my boys, my buddies, my friends start showing up, coming to the table. They start talking, like used car salesmen, selling themselves, blah, 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 whatever's. And one by one, the women all get up and start walking away. Of course, their mission was they're on the prowl, they're hunting. So they eventually leave the table. Now, what I gathered there was a simple, what occurred to me was the laws of attraction. And that sometimes when we try so hard to get something, it eludes us. Okay, follow the rest of the story, and you'll see what I'm saying when I say figuring out ways to entice money, attract money, or whatever it is you want into your life. Okay. The guys leave. I'm sitting there alone. 4 or 5 minutes go by. 2 or 3 other young ladies walk up and say, hey, is anyone sitting here? I said, no. Table's open. Take a chair. Sit down. Enjoy yourself. They sit down, engage me in conversation. Next thing I know, 2 or 3 of their friends come back, and we're all sitting there. We're laughing. We're having a great time. Lo and behold, here comes my boys. They come back over. They start engaging in conversation, selling themselves, telling the young ladies, hey, look, I do this, I do that, I do this, I'm owner of that, whatever. And I'm sitting back because I'm like, I didn't even really want to be there. I'm just engaging in conversation because I'm trying to be polite. But sometimes when you're not involved in the situation, you can clearly see the situation. And so after that, again, slowly, one by one, the women start getting up and walking away. So my boys, at first who were very intrigued with the women, calling them beautiful and everything else, decided to call them out of their names. Like, I can't believe these explicatives. Just get up and walk away. How rude is that? And so it occurs to me, I said, wait. Before you guys walk away, let me help you out with something. I said, you guys came up to sell yourselves to these young ladies instead of engaging them in conversation like regular people should or regular adults would, right? Because you had one thing in mind, your mission. Your mission was to get a particular situation or thing out of your interaction with these women. And since it didn't work out, now you're mad at them all of a sudden. They're no longer these beautiful creatures that you talked about. And of course, they started giving me, all kinds of negative flack. And I said, look, only reason I'm saying this is just stop. Think for one moment. The reason that they're attracted to me is that I'm not chasing them. So it's almost like that squirrel. Have you ever watched a squirrel around the tree holding a nut? And a whole bunch of other squirrels are running around, scurrying around. And then finally notice that one squirrel standing over there by himself. Well, they're intrigued because he's not scurrying around like the rest of them because he already has a nut. Okay? I'm hoping that you guys are following me on this. So the next thing I think about again is how to entice money into your life. Okay. The point of it is this. Instead of running around constantly trying to chase a dollar or chase money, make your life, make who you are so interesting that money wants to jump in your lap. It wants to come to you. It can't go nowhere else. It wants to jump in your pockets. It wants to be around your neck. It wants to be a hat on your head. That's how badly money wants to be in your life. Now, the challenge is, how do you, I'm talking to you, how do you make yourself exciting enough for money to want to reside and live where you are? That just came to me today. Sometimes the very thing we want in life doesn't come to us because we're so focused on it instead of making ourselves interesting enough for it to come to us. That's all I got to say today. I hope that this has been interesting. It's definitely been interesting for me today to come to the, again, have an epiphany that sometimes chasing something is the wrong way of going about getting it. I don't know what that's going to mean for you, but it meant and spoke volumes to me today. I hope that this has helped you. Again, this is George's Corner. Look for something new, or if nothing else, at least something refreshing every time we speak. Again, love yourself, take care of everyone else, and be the best you that you can be each and every day. And before I forget, always be learning something new, particularly about you. Take care. God bless. Till next time, fam. This is George.